This is a piece of Karelian birch. It only grows on the border of Finland and Russia. Putting a little acetone on it to clean it, and that's what we're going to use for our handle material. Beautiful stuff. I just got this piece and one other small piece left of it. Very sought after, very beautiful stuff. Karelian birch. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue our liners, getting ready to epoxy our liners, and I'm going to try to get them both on this little piece right here. And I'll get back with you after we do that. G-Flex is the best knife epoxy. 650 toughened epoxy. That's what I like for tough, permanent, waterproof repair or knife skin. This stuff gives you about 30 minutes working time, and then it cures in about 24 hours. So you don't want to do any sanding or work on whatever you glue up until the next day. So it's not 5-minute epoxy. This gives you more time, and it's a better product. I used to use JB Quick a lot, but I've learned that this is a better epoxy and it gives me more work time, and there's no sense in being in a hurry to grind on the knife the same day unless you're real far behind on some orders. I try not to get myself in that situation. Just 1-to-1 ratio on this stuff. That's probably way more than enough, I'm sure. I always mix up more than what I need. It's better to have too much than not enough, in my opinion. We've got it good and mixed up. I've been mixing on this for about 3 solid minutes. So what I like to do is, in a situation like this where we've got to make sure that we keep both these liners on this one little piece, I make sure and cover every little square millimeter of area with epoxy on the liners and on the wood or bone or whatever handle material you use. Probably not necessary, but that way you don't miss. Now I've got plenty of glue on here, plenty of epoxy. However, I always go ahead and put a little bit on the metal, on the liners as well, because I don't want to have a spot that turns loose. I've had that happen in the past because I didn't have enough epoxy on there, or I started grinding too early. And so I've learned, there'll be excessive glue on this. However, it will be stuck. I usually don't do this. I usually have a whole lot of room and 2 separate pieces, but this is one of the last pieces of this Karelian birch that I've got, and it's my favorite stuff. It's really expensive stuff, and this is a special commemorative knife for Stephen Garrett, in honor and in memory of his dad, Ronnie Garrett. He was a great man, a really good friend. He's heck of a mechanic, just gearhead, awesome guy. And he checked out this world too early, in my opinion. But we all have a time, and when it's our time, God's got reasons for everything that he does. And so I know that Ronnie was a good man. He was saved. He was a good Christian man. And all he's done is beat us to heaven. And we'll see him again one day, along with our other loved ones. Ain't that gonna be an awesome time? Oh, what a day that will be. When we meet our Savior. So I've got these, don't have much room for error. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clamp this down. A lot of knife makers are probably gonna say, oh my gosh, what'd you do that for like that? But I've done this before and it worked out fine. And I believe it will this time. I'm gonna get right on the edge there. Try to get this clamp stabilized there before it goes somewhere. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get 4 on each one of these. Make sure I got enough room to saw them back apart and make sure they're all lined up. This will also allow me to be able to sit this down and it stand up on its own. And I want to make sure that that's not going overboard there, over the edge. That would be a major problem. So this way the whole thing can sit there like that. And that's the way I do that.